Hey guys, Andrew from McNasty Customz here. What we're going to go over is our newest product release. It's basically a bolt-on kit to get you, allowed you to adjust your front end alignment properly, your camber, your casper, and everything all in one simple little kit. Very simple to use, very fast to use, and this will get your front end perfectly 100% straight within a matter of 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And you know, you could do it in your driveway, do it in your garage. I mean, you could do it while you're waiting for other people to show up before you go on a ride. This thing's simple. So we're going to show you how to do this. Install it, do a couple quick little installs on the UTVs we have here. This works for Honda, Polaris, Yamaha. I mean, this will work on your car. This will work on your small pickup truck. This will work on, you know, any side-by-side, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, anything. One kit will do everything you own in your driveway to get you relatively straight. So for a lot of you guys that once you change your control arms, once you tie rods or so on, and your front end's not straight, I've been doing this for years. Trying to do it by eye is almost virtually impossible. You sit in front of the vehicle and it looks like the tires are towed out. You go behind it and it looks like they're towed in, and you're trying to adjust, and two buddies with tape measures going back and forth just to try to get it straight. And it seems like when you go riding, all of a sudden it's out of whack again. So this will completely cure all of that. Simple. One person can do this, and it's simple and easy to do. So we're going to show you how to do it on different vehicles here that we have here set up, different ways of doing it, and depending on what kind of wheels you have and so on. We're going to show you the fast way of doing it, and we're going to show you the slower way, the correct way of doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little install video and show you on a couple of these things over here. And we'll start off on this little simple little Ace. Very simple, very easy, and here we go. Alright guys, we're going to go over what you get in a kit. We're going to show you a quick install on this Polaris Ace, and then we're going to take it from there. This is the rear bracket. The rear bracket is adjustable, so you can adjust it when there's one hole showing, when this is adjusted in one more level. These are 100% equal. So if you have A-arms and in the front and your rear arms, it's the same length, it's the same width, say 64 in the front, 64 in the back, then you would want these adjusted exactly equally the same. If you have any kind of aftermarket or wheel spaces in the back or so on, that's where you start adjusting the rear to match the front. So the front goes on and then you adjust the rear. So the front looks like this, and this is the front bracket, goes down, has one hole up in the center here. The rear is the adjustable one, and it has these two triangular wedges on here. We'll show you exactly what those are for. You're going to get two rears and two fronts in the kit. The next main piece is the 36-inch long bar. A 36-inch long bar will actually, once you have these on in the line pulled and you have your wheels straight, these will actually bolt onto the front brackets like this. And this is your tire size chart, and this is to get your proper 100% perfect toe in. So this is angled here. We have a bunch of slots. The slots is for the tape measure. Down the road we're going to show you exactly how this works. The tape measure goes in each one of the grooves. And you bolt these on, you pick the tire size that you're running, and it's the same front and back. So say you're running a 27-inch tire, you'll go to this slot here that says 27-28, and you'll measure that from one side of the buggy to the next. Then you go to the back and you'll do the same thing on the 27-28-inch line. You'll go from the front to the one side of the machine to the other. And what you want when you're all said and done is you want your wheels completely straight, and then you want them in about an 1/8 inch. You want toe in. You want the front of the wheels, the front of the machine, the wheels to slightly toe in, an 1/8 inch on each side is what you want. That's perfect alignment. That'll keep you straight and driving exactly where you want. That's the entire purpose of these bars right here. It'll get you exactly the way it would be if you brought this to an alignment shop and have a car done. A car is done the same way. What else you get in the kit is you'll get an angle finder. So anybody who does any kind of control arms, A-arms, Super ATV arms, adjustable arms, anything in the front, this can go on the end of our brackets. And you can adjust the upper A-arm, lower, whatever you want to do to get it at exact 90 degrees so your arms are straight up and down when it has all the weight on the machine. You'll get obviously the tape measure that I showed you so you can measure everything. You're going to get one strap, and the strap is to strap your steering wheel, and it's to keep your steering wheel 100% straight while you move your wheels. Then when you get back in, your steering wheel is already straight. You'll get a bag of hardware, you'll get some line, and we're going to show you where everything goes, so on and so on. Right now we're going to do a quick little install so you can see exactly what's going on. So we'll take it from there. The very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take the strap. What you want to do is you kind of want to drive the machine forward wherever you do this, inside, outside, in your shop, your driveway, wherever. You can do this wherever. On the trailer. You can do this wherever. You kind of want to drive your machine a couple of feet forward so the machine is driving straight. This just tries to get you an idea that the machine is straight. Then you'll take your steering wheel and see where your steering wheel is. If your steering wheel is slightly cocked, just straighten your steering wheel right out back where you want, and then you take the strap and you wrap it around the steering wheel, and then you wrap it around anywhere else. It doesn't really matter. You can run it down here and strap it to the plastic. You can run it to your roll cage like this one is. You can run it to your front bumper. You can run it down the sides to your Nerf bars. As long as that steering wheel is straight and you snug this up, the steering wheel will not move while you're doing the rest of these adjustments. So that, number one, you're straightening your steering wheel out. That's the first step. Step number two, you start with your two brackets that are going to go on your wheels. Very simple. Now it comes down to a bunch of different ways of doing this. It depends on what tires you're using, what wheels you're using, spaces, so on, all kinds of things. But this kit's 100% adjustable for it. So what you do is, your string is going to go from notch to notch across the center, right across your machine. So you kind of want to have this more or less somewhere near the center line of your wheel. Pretty simple, anywhere in there. So on this one, because these wheels allow it, we're going to show you how simple this one is. What you always want the weight of the machine on the suspension. So if you can't do it on the wheels like this, you're going to have to jack it up and put the entire machine on jack stands, and we're going to show you that in a minute. But this one, you can do it. Simply remove the lug nut, put the lug nut back on once you have this bracket in place. Get it pretty much straight. So you want it straight across the wheel as, pretty much close as you can. That's it. That bracket's in place. Alright guys, if any of you guys touched your front control arms, your A-arms or any, if you have any adjustable, if you played with any of those, you might, on this will be the section real quick where you check and make sure you're adjusted properly left and right. Once you have all four brackets on, our front brackets on and our rear brackets on, you take the angle finder and you simply put the angle finder on the bracket. You're going to want it pointing at straight up at 90 degrees. It'll say the pointer will be right on the 90 degrees. That tells you your wheel is straight up and down. Now if you have adjustable arms, or you changed arms, and you even changed your ball joints, or you changed anything, you're going to want to do this before you go any further. You're going to want to test this out, and if it's not at 90 degrees, you simply just move the gauge and think, oh, I need to come out at the top a little bit. Oh, I need to go back in a little bit. Then you go on your arm and you adjust the bushings, you adjust the ends, your tie rod, your heim joints, or whatever you got, you adjust them. So now, if you need to go in, you adjust the heim joints back into the arm, which pulls the arm back into the machine, which will pull the straight 90 degrees again. That's what you want to do. I mean, if you guys installed the arms, you should have a really good idea of how to adjust the arms. I'm not going over how to adjust the arms. I'm just telling you, this is the section. You put it on here before you pull any strings for any kind of front end alignment, and you just make sure that your front end is straight. Because if it's not straight, this is the time to take care of it now. Now, one thing I wanted to show you real quick, there's 2-inch front spaces on this machine, and there's no spaces in the back. So these tires in the back are sitting in, and the front ones are sitting out. So what we did is we adjusted our bracket here. We made a bracket wider, seeing that the rear is narrower and the front is wider. We want to widen our rear brackets to match the front. So we already did that. We adjusted the bracket out, and we're going to do the same thing in the back here that we did in the front. We'll take one lug nut off on the top, and we will snug it back up. So now this is our rear bracket installed and our front bracket installed. Then you'll simply take the string from the kit, real easy. You take about 8-10 inches, a foot, put your finger over here, take a foot, and you will slide the string into the rear groove for the string. Right down the center of the bracket, you'll see the groove, and then you simply just twist the string around this triangle part. So everything's designed to have a certain purpose. So now the string is 100% sitting on there with that fast, that simple. Then you pull your string all the way to the front one, and you go to the front groove that's inside the little bracket here. So now you have a front groove. You simply pull the string, pull it tight, then pull the string inside the groove, and that's what this little bolt right here is for. So you lift the bolt up, you twist it around 2, 3, 4 times, and then you snug the nut up on the bottom, just to put a little pressure on the string. You're not tightening it up, you're just snugging it up. You know it's snug? That's it. Now you have your string is completely pulled. Now your steering wheel in this situation is already tied off and everything is tight. And then you have your straight line getting pulled from the rear to the front. And then what you're going to do, very simple, is you're just going to follow the string. See, the string here already has pressure on it right here on this back end. So on the back end of this bracket is what you're more or less looking for. You want to see if the string, you want it just, the string to come straight and just be parallel to the bracket. Very simple. You don't want it pushing the string out so the string bows out, and you don't want the bracket in where the string's hanging and there's a gap. So what I'm just going to show you real quick, obviously you're not going to undo the steering wheel in this procedure. What you would do in this setup is you would release the nuts on your tie rod and you simply adjust your tie rod. Your tie rod is going to move your wheel in and out until this string is perfectly tight. We're obviously not going to take the time to do that. We're just going to undo the steering wheel real quick, and I'm going to move the steering wheel just so you can see it. But if the string right here is touching the bracket, it moves in, you'll see this. We're going to do a close-up video on this. I mean a close-up picture on this, and you'll see exactly what it is. See, now I have a gap. My wheel is too far in that way. Now we're sitting exactly where we need to be. Now that would all have been adjusted just with that front tie rod. You adjust the front tie rod until you're exactly perfectly straight. And boom, that's it. And you leave it just like that. You go to the other side. So you're going to do this to both sides of the machine. The exact same thing on the other side of the machine. Then you're going to get the other side of the machine, and remember, your steering wheel's locked into place. Now this passenger side wheel is 100% straight. Go to the driver's side. Do the same thing. You're going to adjust it until it's 100% straight along the line, and that's it. Now leave those where they are. That's it. Don't touch anything else. And you do not undo your steering wheel until this thing is completely finished. That's the step one to get your wheels straight. Now your wheels are straight. Very simple. All you do, you loosen this nut back up a little bit. You take the string back off. At this point, you're really not going to use the string anymore. Now you would go to step two of what you're going to do, which would be the toe in and out. You would take our bracket, very simple. You slide the two bolts into the bracket so it's sitting exactly where you want, where you had it in the first place for with the string. Now you're going to do this on both sides. Oh, it's not being touchy. There we go. Alright, I'm not putting that nut on. Alright, so now you got your bars on both sides, and you can clearly see in this video now, so I don't know what this is. This is like a 25-inch wheel, and if you look here, it's roughly, it's super inflated, 25, 26, it's roughly right exactly where the mark is. So what you would do is you would have these on both sides of the machine, and you will take the tape measure and you will run it from whatever tire size you have. I mean, you can kind of go to the next one if it's rubbing the tire. So this one here is, I mean, that'll click into the 25, 26, and then you run it to the other side. You come across and say it's 50 inches. Now you go to the back of the machine. You may want to rotate these a little bit. You slide under the machine. You go from one side to the other, straight across, and you'll measure it at the same mark on the back side, 25, 26, and you'll measure the same thing. If you got 50 inches again, is where you should be pretty close. If you got 50 inches again. So now you know, because you pulled your string and because you adjusted your wheels, these numbers should be exactly the same. 50 inches, we're just using a number. So now what you want to do is, the tie rods on this machine are actually in the front. What you'd want to do is slightly turn the tie rod to get the front of this tire slightly towed into the machine. We're talking a tiny bit. All you want to go is like 1/8 of an inch. And then you do that on both sides, 1/8 and 1/8. Just give it a quarter turn and try it like that. You come back, you remeasure it. Now the front will be a little less than 50 because we towed it in. So let's just say it's 49. You know, you want it as close to 1/8 on each side as you can get it. You don't want to go too crazy. I mean, you can go up to about roughly a quarter, but you want to go 1/8 on each side. So now in the front, it's going to be just under 50 inches, and when you measure the back, it's going to be just over 50 inches. Because what you're doing is you're twisting the wheels like this. This is the front of the machine, and you're twisting the wheels slightly. So this number will be slightly less than the 50, and the rear will be slightly more. When you have it at that point, it's done. That's it. Snug up your tie rod ends here, do your jam nuts, and that's it. You will have a 100% straight driving frontline machine here. Then you can undo, obviously take these brackets off, put your lug nuts back on, and then you can obviously undo your steering wheel here, and then you'll have no issues with your steering from that point forward. Drive it around a little bit and see how you like it. What we're going to do now is we're going to show you on this machine here, this is an RS1, we're going to show you how to do it when it's jacked up on jack stands. Alright guys, this is our Polaris RS1 Shark. This is our Megalodon Shark. We use it and we bring this to races and so on. And same thing, we're going to do a front end alignment on this and show you this way because this one's always constantly out of alignment because we bang this thing around a lot. That easy. So if you cannot do any kind of alignment using any kind of offset wheels like this, I mean these things are 5-inch offset. This is racetrack stuff, you know. So you can't use the brackets to go inside the wheel because they're not going to stick out enough and it's not going to work. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to jack the machine up. You jack the machine up and you want to put it on jack stands. You want all the weight back on the suspension, and then you want to move the suspension around on the machine a little bit. You want this thing settled down with all the weight on the actual where the wheels would be. So that's why we showed you the first install on the machine with the wheels on, so all the weight's on the ground. If you can't do that, you need all 4 points of the corners, all 4 corners of the machine you need on jack stands, jacks, wooden dollies, anything. I mean, you could put a block of wood under here and put it on a block of wood. It doesn't matter. As long as the machine is sitting on the ground. So we did the same thing here. We more or less leveled out where we wanted to. We picked where we wanted to put our little brackets. We put the rear bracket on and we adjusted the bracket so it's even with the front. So it's the same width. And you can simply do that by once you put the front brackets on, the very first thing you do is put the front brackets on. You can measure them from side to side. It's going to say, whatever measurement it is, 66 inches. So then you come to the rear, you put the rears on, you measure from left to right, and it should be 66 inches. If it's not, then you adjust, a rough number 66. Yours is always going to be a different number. Then you adjust this rear bracket until you get the rear mounts at the same width as the front mounts. Very simple. Then you bolt these on this machine. You bolt it on the rear, you do the same thing with the string. You bolt it on the front, you wrap the string around, you pull the string all the way back to the front. You do the same thing in the front over here. Here's your string, real simple. And you pull your string into the very front hole, you pull it back around over here to this upper nut, this upper bolt, and then you snug it with the nut on the bottom. Said this is just sitting on this machine, all hand tight. So now, sitting here where we are, this is actually super close. This one is right on. So we already have it adjusted. But what you would do with this machine, now that you have the weight on there and you have the string, you just simply loosen up this jam nut right here, twist your tie rod right to where you want to get it so it's super straight, just like this one. This one's very straight, accurate, and ready to go. Once you're straight on both sides, you come back and you do the same thing. You put the string down, you release the string, take it off of this side and show you over there. You take the left or right, it doesn't matter, they're both exactly the same, so you can use them on either side. Same with these front brackets or rear brackets. You will bolt the front bracket on both sides, and then you will do exactly what you did what we showed you on the first one. You will pull whatever size tire you had. Now we're showing you how to do this with the tires off. So that machine had 28-inch tires on it. So here we have the slot for 27, 28-inch tire. You will pull the string, for the tape measure from that front corner to the same thing in the back corner over here. Put it in the same 27, 28-inch mark. And you will say, obviously that's 64 inches. Then you do the same thing for the back. You slide under the back, you put it in there, you pull it on the back side, you under the machine. So what you can do if you want to get under the machine, if you don't have a lot of clearance, at this point just rotate this up a little bit, and this will allow you to pull under the machine and not touch anything. I'm on the 27, 28-inch mark, and that'll pull and just say it's 64 inches. So I have 64 front, 64 back. So what I want to do at this point, the jam nut's still loose, I'll slightly twist, quarter turn at a time. I just want this very front section to slightly go into the machine. And then you measure it again at the same 27, 28 inch mark. You measure it the same. So if we started with 64 inches, we want slightly less than 64 in the front and slightly more than 64 in the back. An 1/8 inch on each side total is all you want to move this. That's it. You don't want to go any further than that. You just want it slightly towed in. So when you're done, this will just be under 64 inches and that'll just be over 64. That's it. It's finished. The front end alignment is done in this machine. You simply tighten up these 2 jam nuts and this machine is done. That's it. All right? I mean, this is that simple. So all you do is, like I said, you put the rear on, you put the front on, you pull the string, you adjust it till it's straight, and you put these bars on, you pull across, and you get the measurement. Now, it is very important that whatever size tire you use is the numbers that you go by on this chart. Because obviously the bigger the tire is, if we wanted just an 1/8 on each side of the front toe in, and you're going further and further out, if you went out here to the 30, and this is up to a 36 inch tire, if you went out here to the 36 inch tire and started adjusting them, you'd probably have a 1/2 inch difference because the distance you're going out from the wheel. You need to use the lines and the tire sizes to the actual tire on the machine. And this will do from a 21 inch tire down roughly a 20 inch tire all the way up to a 36. And you could just about get a 37 if you clipped it on the outside of this level. I mean on this piece here. So this will do the majority of all tires. Like I said, this will do 2-wheel drives, 4-wheel drives, Razors, Yamahas, Can-Ams, Polarises, whatever, it doesn't matter. It'll do your car. So very simple like that. This is how fast this can be done. Once you've done this 2 or 3 times, you can literally bang out an entire front end alignment in 15 minutes by yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on to the next one. We're going to show you another wheel setup and another way of doing this. Alright guys, just another way of showing you how to do some of the installs of this outside bracket. If you have a flat-faced wheel, like these are Fuel 22-inch wheels, I can simply vice grip this onto the outside of the wheel, and I don't need to jack the machine up, I don't need to take any weight off, and this saves, the amount of time of jacking this machine up, putting it on jack stands, jack so on, and blocking it up. I don't have to do that in this situation. Very simple. This is our front bracket, obviously. I'm just using a simple pair of, vice grips here. You can use any kind of like little locks and anything you want to attach it to the wheel. Simply get it to where you more or less want it, like I said, around center-ish of the rim, as long as it's centered in the wheel. That's it. So that's clipped onto these wheels. I can do a quick front end alignment. I already clipped the one on the rear over there. I can do a quick front end alignment. I can pull my string, and I can figure out right where I am, and from this point with the tires on, you can simply set this back up. Like I said, this is a 37-inch tire. It's about the maximum on our tool that you can do. As we are right now, what you would do is, I can just, on the back side of this machine, I can pull the tape measure straight across this 37-inch tire, and I can do the same on the front. So this will do up to a 37, but it doesn't actually have a groove to sit in. You sit it on the outside, and then you would do the same thing that you did with these other machines. Once your line is completely straight, you obviously have the strap still on your steering wheel. You have your steering wheel straight. Your wheels are straight by the pulling off the back. You want to slightly have it toe in. That's the front tire on each side. A lot of people don't understand this. That's why I keep saying it over and over. The very front of your front 2 tires, you slightly want them pointing in. That's it, just a tiny little bit. An 1/8 inch on each side. That helps you stay straight. When your hands off the steering wheel and so on, that helps you stay straight is what that little tiny bit does. If you go get a car alignment, you get your truck aligned, the vehicle you drive to work every day, if you get it aligned, they're going to do the same thing on their alignment machine. They're going to slightly toe you in a little bit, and it helps you think your vehicle track straight. That's the idea behind it. So that's the idea behind these. So, like I said, once you get your line straight and you pull side to side, say the number on this wide one is 70 inches on each side, your jam nut is still loose over here on your steering rod, all you want to do is turn it like a 1/4 of a turn, then you go back and you measure. You want, say you started at 70, you want the number from the left side to the right side to be just below 70, and then when you come and measure the rear, because the front's towed in, the back's going to tow out. What you want is it just to be above 70, just a tiny bit, an 1/8 inch on each side. That's all you want. And that will give you the perfect front end alignment with this simple little kit right here. And then we're going to show you one last thing, just so you guys can see how versatile this kit is. I'm going to show you one more thing. Okay guys, just to show you how versatile this setup is here and how you can use it on multiple different things, like I said. This is our 1967 Eleanor Fastback project that we got going on here. We're completely building an Eleanor here at McNasty Customz. And we're showing you that it can simply, we're just showing you it's not bolted on. We simply slide it onto a car, and you can use this exactly the same way as you can on side-by-side UTVs, four-wheelers, 4x4 quads, sport quads, anything. And like I was showing you right here, you can use it on your car, your pickup truck, and so on. You put the bracket on the back, the same as you would in this entire install video. You put the bracket on the front, the same as you would in the entire install video, and you put it on exactly the same. Pull the string, put it in the notch, spin it around. Like I said, we don't really have this bolted on. Spin it around the nut on top. Snug it back up. And what you're seeing is exactly what we did on the side-by-sides and the UTVs. The exact same thing you would want to do here, because the wheel is actually 100% straight here. And it's just touching the back of the bracket. Pretty much that. And then to get your toe in, you would want to do the same thing. You'd use this bracket here the same way with whatever size tire you have on your car. You measure your tire, or I mean, you figure out if it's a 235, something. You figure out the height of your tire, and you measure it straight across after you bolt this bracket on, and you do the same thing. You want that 16th, 1/8 inch, whatever, on each side that you're going to want toe in the front, and then your car is going to be aligned up. Maybe you'd want to bring your car to an actual, I mean, you know, if you're doing highway speeds and so on. Maybe you'd want to actually bring your car to an alignment shop down the road, but this will get you right in the ballpark. I've been to, over the years, many different places where, oh yeah, you know, mechanics, yeah, we got it close, you know, friends' cars and so on that bring to me and try to get them to fix it. You know, oh, the mechanic did new ball joints and he said it's pretty straight, and then all of a sudden their front tires are completely chopped up within 3,000 miles, 4,000 miles, and it ruins the front tires. It's because they don't have something along these lines to get the wheels straight. So what they do is they just guess, they take a couple measurements with a tape measure off the tread of the tire, and that's air pressure and tires and tread patterns and worn, so they don't always get them straight. This kit will get you straight. So the backyard mechanic, the small garage, anybody that, you can actually get alignment money for this and get it pretty damn straight. And at least keep your name in check, saying, you know, hey, the alignment was pretty straight. The alignment shop, when I brought it to him, said it was pretty close, it wasn't off, and so on and so on. So this kit is very accurate. It's a very simple kit. We're thinking it's $189 shipped. I'm not 100% sure. For $189 shipped, you're going to get all the brackets, everything you're going to need. The tape measure, the angle finder, the strap to do your steering wheel, everything. You're going to get everything you need for $189. I mean, it's probably $200 to go have one vehicle aligned. So what you're buying here is now you can do your side-by-side. Hell, I'm not even kidding around, man. You can do your lawnmower with this thing. You want to do your lawnmower, do your lawnmower. You can do everything you want to do with this one kit for $189 shipped. I think that's what the pricing is going to be. Check our website. We'll have them out very soon. McNastyCustomz.com, McNasty Customz on Facebook, McNasty Customz on Instagram. Check us out.